Hey!
Hey, hi.
Welcome to the Natasha and Debbie show.
Hello.
That's brutal. Just two patriotic girls, so please don't take us the wrong way.
Welcome to Friday and welcome to the Natasha and Debbie show.
Nice. I like
Thank
that.
you.
I like that. Fridays are great.
Natasha's got a leg up on me with today's video. Keep your leg down.
I can't get it up there anyway. I'll pull something.
She was doing a Facebook Live and she got a little bit of information about today's topic episode, which she's going to share more about that in a moment. So before we get into that, if you like today's video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. I do have my challenge out there for the 100,000 subscribers by March 21st, so please consider subscribing.
What's March 21st, Debbie?
That would be my birthday. Oh. So please consider. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. No crazy notifications. Consider doing that.
That'd be cool.
So tell us a little bit.
Well, I don't know. Well, you're kind of making me sound like I know more than I do. I don't. We're going to do today the home of the Chelsea pensioners, which is something that was brought up in a Facebook Live conversation. Let's say convo, because I'm young and hip. Oh, wow. That was lame. This was months ago. And I had never heard of a Chelsea pensioner. And I know now that we just talked about this before we started the video. She's like, what's the video on? And I'm like, oh, the home of the Chelsea pensioner. She's like, what's that? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I didn't tell you.
Yeah, I'm clueless.
So I'm clueless too, but I just know a little bit. So we're going to dive into this video, but we're going to first take a second and just pull up something off the website and read a little bit about what exactly is a Chelsea pensioner and what are the requirements. We're going to go ahead and look and just read this information real quick because I don't know that much. I just know a little tiniest bit and I didn't realize I didn't tell you any of this. So what is a Chelsea pensioner? This is from the chelseapensioners.co.uk. So I don't know what the video is going to cover about them, so that's why we want to read this. Right. It says from 1692 until 1955, all army pensions were administered by and paid from the Royal Hospital, Chelsea, which is why all army pensioners were often referred to as Chelsea pensioners. Those who lived out in the UK or abroad and received their pension in cash from agents around the country were known as out pensioners. All records for out pensioners are held by the National Archives at Kew. Over time, the term out pensioner fell out of common usage, and in more recent times, it's only those pensioners who retire and live within the Royal Hospital who are now officially known as Chelsea pensioners. These eligible veterans of the British Army surrendered their army pension and were admitted as residents of the Royal Hospital, Chelsea. Does that help a little bit?
A little bit. So they live in the hospital and give up their pension?
So that's a good question because I haven't gotten that far yet. And then there's some more information here that I wanted to grab on eligibility on how this works. So, to be eligible for admission as a Chelsea pensioner, a candidate must be a former non-commissioned officer or soldier of the British Army who is over 66 years of age or over 66 years or of state pension age, whichever is the greater. Either in receipt of an Army service pension or war disability pension, which you would be required to surrender upon entry to the Royal Hospital, or if you do not receive an Army pension, you would be required to make a weekly financial contribution. That's towards the living costs. Okay, that makes sense. This contribution will be based on an assessment of affordability completed during the application process. Free of any financial obligation to support a spouse or family.
Okay.
So I guess you have to be single then.
Seems that way.
Yeah.
Or at least no more.
So far. To be able to live independently in the sheltered accommodation, long wards, the Royal Hospital Chelsea is unable to accept direct entries to the nursing wards. Also eligible for admission are any former officers of the British Army who meet the criteria provided they served in the ranks before obtaining a commission. So I know there's more information, but this is all we're going to read. Yeah. Does that help?
That does.
I didn't know all of that either. I just knew that they were veterans, that it was like an honor.
Yeah.
And you had to be a certain age. That's all I know.
It gives them a place to live when they're older.
But that's all I know. So we're going to learn today about the Royal Hospital Chelsea and the home of the Chelsea pensioners, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
So let's do it.
To the Royal Hospital, the home of the world-famous Chelsea pensioners.
You'll recognize them when you see them in uniforms too.
I'm Dan Snow, and over the next few minutes, I'll be telling you just a little about this unique institution and its remarkable 300-year history.
Remember the...
Yeah.
So when was the Royal Hospital originally built? And why? The answer's here on the building itself, though it does help if you know your Latin.
I do not.
In subsidium et levamen emeritorum senio belloque fractorum condidit Carolus secundus, auxit Jacobus secundus, perfecere Guglielmus et Maria, rex et regina, anno domini 1692.
The key thing to note is that the Royal Hospital is not a hospital in the modern sense of the word, but a home, a place of hospitality. As the inscription points out, it was originally founded by King Charles II. Here he is, in the hospital's aptly named Figure Court. Charles wanted to provide a permanent home for those veterans of his expanding regular army who were no longer fit for duty.
Yeah, that had confused me with the word hospital there, because I was thinking that they had been injured or needing care in a traditional hospital. So that's...
You're not the only one on that one. I was a little surprised by that.
Explain that. Hospitality, that makes sense. So...
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah. So supplying a place or providing a place that soldiers could live.
I didn't know it went back this far. King Charles II. I mean, I know we just read that, but
yeah, it didn't quite register.
No. We love our military. Not just American. You guys know that. Come on, by now you should know that. We love our allied military. So I want to say right now, big, giant kiss and hug and thank you to all the Chelsea pensioners.
Yes.
I mean, because you guys are awesome. You're veterans. Thank you for everything. And this is a great thing.
Of his expanding regular army who were no longer fit for duty. His decision was probably inspired by the example of the French king, Louis XIV, who had founded the Hôtel des Invalides in Paris as a home for his old soldiers in 1670.
Didn't know that.
Okay.
Did you?
The hospital was founded in 1682, but it would take 10 years before it was ready to admit its first pensioners. Finding the money to pay for the project hadn't been easy. Parliament refused to supply it, and it had taken all the generosity and financial know-how of Charles's former Paymaster General, Sir Stephen Fox, to raise anything like what was needed. From 1684, additional funds were provided by deducting a day's pay from every officer and soldier in the army. As the King's Surveyor General of Works, Sir Christopher Wren was called in to design the hospital buildings. His original intention...
Sorry. Christopher Wren, that name sounds familiar.
Doesn't to me. You've been doing some research that I don't know about?
No, I thought that, and I could be wrong, Christopher Wren helped rebuild after the Great Fire. Could totally be wrong. Not sure.
I mean, it's the same time period, so it's possible. Now I have to look it up.
We're going to Google
How do you spell his last name, though?
Wren. Like the bird, I think.
Is it like the bird or is it not? Wait, I think you might be right. Designed by...
Hey!
202-foot column designed by Sir Christopher Wren and Dr. Robert Hooke was built to commemorate the Great Fire of 1666 and stands on the word I can't say between Fish Street Hill and Monument Street.
Look at that.
Look at you. I did not catch that. And he designed this too. So
yeah. Hey.
Learning is so cool.
Just like that name is so familiar.
I'm impressed, Debbie. I'm impressed.
Was called in to design the hospital buildings. His original intention was to house all the pensioners in Figure Court, but Charles's successor, James II, had expanded the army to such an extent that more accommodation was needed. So Wren designed two more courts, Infirmary Court, now known as College Court, and Light Horse Court, which originally provided accommodation for retired cavalrymen. Further buildings, including admin blocks and an infirmary, would be added by Sir John Soane in the early 19th century. The hospital grounds and gardens now cover some 66 acres.
It's just
They are, of course, well known as the site of the annual Chelsea Flower Show,
Didn't know that.
Beautiful.
But in the 18th century, part of these grounds were occupied by the fashionable Ranelagh Pleasure Gardens, which included a huge neoclassical rotunda for concerts and entertainments.
That's really cool.
It is.
Wow, how beautiful is that? That's cool.
The whole Royal Hospital project was nearly jeopardised by the disastrous appointment in 1685 of the Earl of Ranelagh as Army Paymaster General. Ranelagh's financial management left a great deal to be desired, and he made matters worse by siphoning off some of the funds intended for the hospital for his own benefit.
Oh, you jerk.
It would take more than 30 years to sort out his accounts.
Great.
Wow.
But in 1692, the work was finally completed. And on February the 4th, the first group of pensioners moved in.
On February the 4th. So we're like
By
almost
that time,
we're almost at the anniversary of
Almost
it.
good timing.
That was I learned about this in the summer, like the topic of it, not anything, but that's interesting how things work out that way.
Yeah, it is. So
I love that they thought about these veterans so long ago like this. It's
Uh-huh.
awesome. And I bet you guys are proud because it makes me proud.
Right.
Oh, through your figure water.
despite Wren's extra
Thank you.
buildings, the army had grown too large to enable all its old soldiers to be accommodated in Chelsea. And so a pension system was established to cater for the overflow, who became known as out-pensioners, to distinguish them from the in-pensioners, now affectionately known as the Chelsea pensioners, who live in the hospital. The two four-storied buildings on each side of Figure Court house the majority of the pensioners. Each floor originally consisted of a pair of long wards, placed back to back, with a line of wooden berths or cubicles running down the inner side. These were originally just 6 feet square.
Okay.
This may seem tiny and cramped to us.
Yes.
Then again, we've never experienced the rigours of 17th century army life.
Very true, sir.
True.
Indeed, Wren took special care to ensure that as much light as possible reached the wards, and even designed the stairs with the needs of the pensioners in mind,
That's cool.
making them shallow
Wow.
and broad so that elderly legs would have less trouble climbing them.
Okay, I'm in love with Ren. Do we have a
Yeah.
problem with him? Did he ever do anything stupid? I hope not.
Hopefully not.
I hope
because
not.
What we've heard so far has been pretty good.
Yeah.
To rebuild things.
I knew that there was at least one person on our Facebook page whose dad, I believe, was about to become a Chelsea pensioner.
Oh, really?
Yes, and I don't remember who that was. I apologize, but let us know if you have family that are,
Uh-huh.
or if you are. Oh my gosh, if you are, hi.
That would be so awesome.
That would be so cool. We will feel
Yeah,
like
wow.
celebrities if you say hi to us. So, just sorry, I just want to take a moment and just say how cool this is, and I love it. That's just really neat.
Making them shallow and broad so that elderly legs would have less trouble climbing them.
Like mine.
But the hospital was never intended to be just a home for old soldiers. It was also a powerful statement of royal taste and generosity. And the buildings here, particularly the chapel and the Great Hall, are some of the finest of their kind in Britain.
It's the UK, we know this.
Wren's splendid
Wow.
chapel was consecrated in 1691,
Dang.
and services were originally held twice daily. Nowadays,
Wow.
there's a regular Sunday morning service, which visitors are more than welcome to attend.
Oh, I want to get
It's also the venue for a range of concerts and recitals. For the first 100 years of the hospital's existence, the Great Hall served as a huge dining room, with
Heck
the
yeah.
pensioners sitting on oak benches at a series of long tables.
Huh.
But towards the end of the 18th century, the pensioners took to dining in their wards, and the hall was used for recreation,
Okay.
army entrance examinations, and courts martial.
Oh.
In November 1852, the body of the Duke of Wellington lay in state here for a week before being taken for burial in St. Paul's Cathedral.
Wow.
I don't think I've told you this, I have in my watch later list a video on the Duke of Wellington. If we get enough people to comment that you want us to do that video, let us know.
Lay in state here for a week before being taken for burial in St. Paul's Cathedral. In 1955, the hall was restored to its original purpose,
Okay.
and the oak benches were later replaced by chairs,
Nice.
Good.
no doubt to the relief of those who had to sit on them.
Yeah.
Right?
Today's pensioners take their
Nice.
meals in the hall, surrounded by boards detailing the campaigns in which they and their predecessors have fought, and with replicas of captured colours and flags hanging overhead.
Much respect.
Impressive as the Great Hall is, the council chamber is probably the finest room in the entire hospital.
Yeah, it is.
It's part of the state apartments, and not normally open to the public.
Huh.
For many years, it formed part of the governor's apartments, but it's now used by the Board of Commissioners who run the Royal Hospital, and meet here under the watchful eyes of some of the key players in the hospital's early history. Wren originally built the Royal Hospital to house a little over 500 people. But because the size of individual accommodation has been increased, today's headcount is nearer 300.
Okay.
Any former soldier, male or, since 2009, female, can apply to join. Applicants normally have to be over 65, and certainly have to be, as the Royal Hospital's original charter puts it, unencumbered by spouse. An in-pensioner's life can be a busy one. It has always been a feature of the establishment that able-bodied pensioners would work to help run the hospital, and today many have jobs here, working, for example, as guides, gardeners, museum and chapel staff, and helping with administration.
I love this.
That is so cool. How they all work together and keep the place going.
This is great.
Do whatever they can to pitch in.
This is great.
That's amazing.
This is such community that I love.
Yes.
I adore this.
They also regularly volunteer to represent the veteran community in services of remembrance
Make poppies.
and also less formal occasions. Pensioners may come and go as they please and are permitted to wear civilian clothing when travelling. However, within the hospital and in the immediate surrounding area, they're encouraged to wear the hospital's blue undress uniform. For travel farther afield or official occasions, they wear their distinctive scarlet coats,
Yeah, I love
together
it.
with tricorn hats
I
for
love
ceremonial events.
Amazing.
A uniform that has changed little from that introduced at the start of the 18th century.
Which is even cooler. Heck yeah.
The most important ceremonial event in the life of a pensioner is the annual Founders' Day Parade,
Really?
which is held on a day near to May the 29th,
Okay.
the birthday of Charles II, and the date of his restoration as monarch in 1660.
That's very touching.
Amazing.
It's touching.
It's also known as Oak Apple Day, and the parading pensioners and spectators all wear sprigs of oak leaves to commemorate the fact that in 1651 Charles escaped from Cromwell's troopers by hiding in such a tree.
Yep. True.
The Royal Hospital has always been proud to have a close link with the sovereign, and since 1980, the reviewing officer at the Founders' Day Parade has always been a member of the royal family. The most
Really?
significant royal event of recent years came in 2002 when Her Majesty the Queen reviewed the pensioners at Buckingham Palace and presented the Royal Hospital with the sovereign's mace to serve as a standard.
Okay, this is just epic. I love this.
That is so cool. So amazing.
It is. The love for these men and women now, since 2009.
Yes.
Sucks it took that long, but it happened. So that's great for women. But I love the love. That's what they deserve. Anyone who's put on a uniform and has, said, I'm going to be willing to pay the ultimate sacrifice of my life for you.
Yep.
Whether it's my country, your country, it's our countries together, deserve all the love they should, and admiration,
and respect. Yeah.
Amen to that.
Yes. And to live with dignity.
Yes, and pride. I am literally emotional inside and not crying in this episode. I'm gonna try not to.
But very touched in the heart.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's just so cool. I'm so happy she did that. God rest her soul.
The Royal Hospital with the sovereign's mace to serve as a standard. Other ceremonies are less formal, notably the ceremony of Christmas cheeses.
Pourquoi?
In a tradition that goes back to 1692 when a local cheesemaker gave cheese to the pensioners, cheesemakers from all over Britain donate their produce to the hospital. The Royal
It's a reaction channel. We pause things.
Yep.
You know where I'm going with this.
Do they have cave cheese?
Do they have cave cheese? We just did the video on Cheddar Gorge. This Cheddar Gorge, I can't remember the company that makes the cheddar over there. Do they donate some?
I would think they do.
We need to know. I need to know.
Okay. If you know, let us know in the comments.
cheesemakers from all over Britain donate their produce to the hospital.
Heck yeah.
The Royal Hospital has faced its fair share of challenges through the ages, not least during the two world wars, when, like other inhabitants of London, the pensioners found themselves once again on the front line.
Oh crap, I didn't even think of that.
On the 16th of April 1941, the hospital infirmary was hit by an aerial mine which destroyed its east wing. 5 staff and 8 pensioners died in the attack, and 37 others were injured. The building had to be demolished, and the site is now occupied by the National Army Museum. In 1918, part of Light Horse Court was destroyed by enemy bombing.
Jeez.
It was reconstructed soon after, only to be destroyed again by a V-2 rocket in 1945. 20 years later, it was rebuilt for a second time,
Yes.
as an exact copy of the original exterior.
Yes.
Hey, United Kingdom, guess what? Ready?
You rock.
Yeah, that's
build
right.
it.
That's how we do it. That's how we do
right.
it. That's how the free world does it right there.
Yep. Don't let it take you down.
You gonna take us down? Okay, cool. Not so much. We're gonna rebuild it. Oh, you gonna do it again? Okay, cool. Guess what? We're gonna rebuild it. So
That's
in your
right.
face.
You ain't keeping us down.
Good job, guys.
Way to go.
Proud.
Today's challenges are of a different kind. The Royal Hospital is rightly proud of its 300-year history,
Absolutely.
but
should
any
be.
institution that wants to survive can't afford to stand still.
Sure.
Chelsea is no exception. What was considered acceptable in the 17th century isn't seen that way today.
Of course not.
And as a result, a major refurbishment program was introduced in 2002.
Awesome.
A new infirmary opened in 2009. And the cramped berths that have housed the pensioners for centuries have been steadily replaced by modern suites, all to
Yes.
ensure that the Royal Hospital Chelsea can offer high-quality residential care for retired soldiers
Beautiful.
who have loyally served their country,
Right on.
both now and in the future.
Don't forget me.
We hope you enjoy your visit.
Oh, that's all. Oh, man, that was great. That lifted my heart up so many times.
I did. I can't believe that. It's just so amazing. I had no idea. And I am so glad that I got to learn this.
Yeah, me too. I feel so much love to these men and women.
Yes. I mean, people that serve, any veteran, and as they age, maybe don't have the best of means or just want to live in a communal area like this. I mean, that's amazing.
And with the love and respect and
Yes.
backing of, the king or queen,
Yes.
as it should be. It's just, this warms your heart. Can you donate to the Royal Hospital Chelsea? I know they said that the pensioners pay into that,
Right.
but can people like me and Debbie donate? Please
would
let
be
us know.
awesome.
I would love to make a donation.
Heck yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, it'd be something that we could do back to give our thank you. Okay, I'm going to say something else because they're coming out. It's coming down. I'm not doing it.
So again, if you like today's video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to our channel.
Thank you. Sincerest, honest to God respect to everyone,
Mhm.
active duty and veterans. Thank you
Yes.
for your service. Of course, all British soldiers, all Allied soldiers, and of course, American soldiers. From the bottoms of our heart, thank you for everything.
Wow, what a great video to get some good feels and learn about, good things in life.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you did enjoy this. Give us some more information if you have more on anything that we might have missed here.
Yeah, anything that we missed, please
Yeah.
let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
I think this was a good
This
video
was
that
great.
just kind of touched on all parts of it.
I
I'm
think
sure they could have went into more in depth on different parts, but I think this
It was a great
did
overview.
great.
Yeah.
I touched on it, some of it.
It was a great overview and feel very, very special to learn.
Mhm.
And now we get to educate others. So thank you guys so much for watching and thanks for always supporting us. And as always, first of all, we'll be back Friday. Wait, it is Friday.
It is
We'll be back Sunday. And until then, please love like jazz.
Be as strong as Tyson.
We'll see you.